There's something frustrating about being an average player in Rainbow Six Siege. You load into games knowing you're not the worst, but also far from the best. You feel stuck, like no matter how hard you try, you're just one of 1,000 other players in the middle of the pack. But being average isn't a curse, it's an opportunity. Most players look at their mediocrity and make excuses. The game's too hard, or I'm just unlucky with my teammates. But if you shift your mindset, you'll start to realize that being average gives you advantages the higher ranks do not have. You're standing on the perfect foundation to improve if you're willing to put in the work. So let's talk about why being average might just be your secret weapon to dominating Siege. Being average means you've already got the basics down, but you're far from perfect, and that's a good thing. Every game you play is packed with opportunities to identify what's holding you back. The key here is to focus on one thing at a time. For instance, if your crosshair placement is off, make it your sole focus for the next week. Pay attention to whether your aim is consistently at head level, especially when holding angles or pushing corners. Actively adjust in every match you play, and once you've nailed that down, move on to another area like utility timing or map positioning. Improvement happens when you tackle one weakness at a time with purpose and persistence. It's not about trying to fix everything at once. As an average player, you've played against everything from absolute beginners to sweaty smurfs. This experience makes you versatile in ways higher ranked players aren't. High level players are often stuck in rigid strategies that crumble when faced with something unexpected. You, on the other hand, know how to deal with that chaos. You've played matches where nothing made sense, and that adaptability is priceless. Lean into it. Watch how your enemies play, think 2 steps ahead, and make adjustments mid-game. The more unpredictable you are, the harder it is for your opponents to counter you. Average players also have the unique advantage of being able to course correct without much resistance. You're not set in your ways, which makes this the perfect time to build habits that will carry you through the ranks. Developing these good habits is a lot easier when you're average because you're still in a flexible stage of growth. You're not stuck in these rigid patterns that higher ranked players often fall into, which makes it much simpler to adopt better techniques and strategies. Think of this as a clean slate. Your gameplay isn't necessarily polished yet, but that means you have room to experiment, adapt, and refine without the baggage of years of ingrained habits. Being average gives you the freedom to mold your playstyle into something efficient and effective, setting a strong foundation for consistent improvement. When you're average, you know you're not the best, and that's actually a good thing. It means you're less likely to have an ego that can hold you back. The problem is most average players get stuck in their comfort zones. Don't fall into that trap. Instead, lean into the mindset that every game is an opportunity to improve. Record your gameplay no matter how embarrassing it might feel and analyze it. Did you die because you overpeaked? Did you miss an easy kill because you didn't check your angles? This self-awareness is what separates the players who climb from the ones who stay stagnant. The beauty of being average is that nobody's expecting you to carry the game. This lack of pressure gives you the freedom to experiment and find your unique strengths. Try different operators, experiment with utility combos, and push your comfort zone. If you've never played a roamer, learn how to disrupt the enemy's rhythm. If you always stick to frag heavy ops, try a support role and master the art of enabling your team. These experiments might cost you a few rounds, but they'll help you discover what's going to make you a standout player. Being average also means you're making the same mistakes as most players in your rank, and that's actually a blessing in disguise. Why? Because these mistakes are well documented, easy to spot, and straightforward to fix. Overpeaking is a great example. It's a problem most average players have, and the solution is simple. Stop swinging every corner like you're invincible. Instead, hold angles and force the enemy to make the first move and play smarter, not faster. Small changes like this can instantly improve your survivability and impact on the round. Addressing even 1 or 2 common mistakes can elevate your gameplay far beyond what most average players are capable of. Because you're not held back by overcomplicated playstyles or strategies, your gameplay is straightforward, making it much more simple to identify what's actually going wrong and correct it. At this stage of your gameplay, every adjustment you make has a noticeable impact. You don't have to dig through layers of advanced tactics to find where you're slipping up. And this clarity is an advantage that lets you focus on improving step by step, building a stronger, more effective foundation without unnecessary distractions. Being average is not a bad thing, it's literally a starting point. The problem is most players at your level will stay average because they're unwilling to make the effort to change. Don't be like them and recognize the opportunity in front of you. Use your adaptability, fix your bad habits, and experiment with new playstyles. The truth is, the difference between being average and being great isn't about talent. It's the willingness to do what others won't. So stop making excuses, start taking action, and prove to yourself and everyone else that being average was just the beginning of your journey. If this video helped you out in any way, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you turn that notification bell on so you guys can stay updated with my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.